Hello, everyone. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Grounded, shall we? So, we stayed our first night, and now it's time to build a workbench and a torch. So, torch is pretty easy. We need sap, and the game will mark that for you. You can see it right in front of me. And if I just run over this way, we'll probably find sap. On a stick is usually the location. Now you'll see there is this mint, like this kind of tic-tac style container here. You can even go inside, but we can't get any of these mints until we have a stronger hammer. So, c'est la vie. I'm going to do that. And this is a weevil, which, you know, if we want... Oh boy. Got it. We're going to get him just so we have something to eat. And that's terrific. And here's a bunch of clover, too. So let's get this. Need that clover. Fantastic. Just using my axe, picking up pebblets, plant fiber, clover, whatever it might be here. And I'm going to then run back. There's more sap up this twig if we wanted, I guess, for our torch. It's going to keep telling us about this, which is fine. You can see there's some dew. There's a weevil down there as well. I'm going to jump. And there's dew right beneath me. Now, I actually could have drank that dew without knocking it down. Now that I noticed that. It gave me the option from above. And then I blasted the dew. And now it's like, where did it go? Now, you see right there, the ant destroyed the weevil. And the water drop is, I don't know. But I did get the free weevil meat from the ant. So that's good. It bounced somewhere, that water. And this happens where it's like, it did. Here it is. Great.
Tastes good.
It does taste good. And that weevil is getting annihilated. You hear it dying. So everybody's after the poor weevils. This is dirty water. We don't want that. But I do want that. Fiber, sprigs, all of this very, very basic stuff is super useful early. And I'm going to run. Whenever possible, try to sprint because it will help you unlock a mutation that you need. Now, mutations aren't really something that you get early in the game, but they're kind of permanent buffs that you get to select from a list of as you unlock them later in the game. And one of them helps you move faster and is unlocked by sprinting. So I like to just run to get that going. Now, I'm going to go ahead and light this up, and I'm going to cook. I've got some weevil meat here. Let's go ahead and get that on there. Now, while this is cooking, let's build a workbench. So I'm going to push up, and we're going to look at the construction menu. I'm going to push right trigger until we move over to this structure. And this is the workbench right here at 3 o'clock. And we can select it. And the game is great because it'll let you build this without the ingredients. And you just construct a blueprint, and then you can add on to it later. All right, so that's done. I'm going to put my workbench like right here. And I'm just going to rotate it. You can pick these things up and move them later. I'm going to place it with X, and then I'm going to push B to cancel. And then I can hold X to super build, which is just add everything that I want. I'm going to just pick these up off the roast, and I'm going to nab these. And now I have all the planks I need. I'm just going to put it there, and there we go. Workbench woes is complete. So it's needed to craft more complex items. Interact with it to open your crafting menu. So I can use the crafting bench now, and we can make better stuff. So one of the things that they want us to make is a torch. And I'm going to make one, but I need rope. So we have to go back, and we make rope easily like that. And, oh, we need 2 rope. All right, fine. Let's go down here, and let me make this just to clear this quest. Then, let me look at my inventory and see what we have. So I'm going to push select to open my inventory. And we have a axe, a hammer, and some cooked food here on our hotbar, as well as some food in our inventory. I want to make some more stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and move this to over here. And, oh, never mind. The meat.
On wheels.
The meat down here is the same as the meat in my inventory. It's not extra. I want to eat this faster than I eat anything else because it's spoiling, so I don't want it to go bad. And I don't want pebblets to be on my hotbar. They want it to be there because it's a weapon, but let's go ahead and move it. So I'm going to go use my workbench. Here's what we need to make. We want a shovel, but we need an acorn. We don't have it. We want spears. Spears are phenomenal weapons, but not perhaps in the way that you think. Spears are great for throwing, and they do a ton of damage when you throw them, and they let you fight at range. And when you throw one spear, kind of like Medieval Dynasty or whatever, many games, if you have other spears in your inventory, you'll just load up another spear. And so if you carry around like 5 spears, you can just throw a bunch of spears at things. There's even a mutation that you can get by throwing that will boost your throwing damage and will make you quite formidable early game. They want us to make some armor as well, and we can make clover armor. Oh, okay, there's something on us. When the music changes like that, something is trying to fight us. I'm running away from it. It is... Oh, it's a mite. Okay. So these little mites, they jump. They're quite annoying. When there's just one of these lawn mites, you can fight them. You'll notice how the music will change when you are aggroed by something and an enemy is trying to get you. I'm going to harvest the remains. We got some mite fuzz, something we can analyze. But mites generally come in packs. They are ultra aggressive, will attack on sight, and they will follow you for a long time. So sometimes you just have to fight them. I was thinking it might have been a bigger ant, a soldier ant or something, which would have been a real problem for us. But that was easy, so we could just fight that. Remember, if that would have killed us, we did set our defense, ourselves to try to lose minimal stuff on death, but we didn't change it to custom game mode yet, which we can if we don't want to lose any items on death to make things less punishing for us. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go back to the bench. There's a weevil. And we're just going to take it down to get the meat. And they want us to make armor. So you push right trigger to go over to the different armor. And for example, we could make a clover hood, a clover poncho, and clover slime guards. This is light armor, or shin guards rather. Now look at the right, you'll see the defensive capabilities this gives you and the traits. This is tenderfoot defense and light armor, for example. And we need rope for all of this. We need a bunch of it. So I'm just going to craft rope, and I'm going to craft many. So I'm going to craft 5 rope, for example. And I could still craft more. And I made myself 10 rope. Now I'm going to go back over to armor, and I can make the clover hood. I can make the clover poncho. And I can make the clover shin guards. And I'm going to now wear all this stuff. So you'll see I'm not wearing any armor right now. What I have on in my paper doll is on the right side of the screen where you see my axe. But I can just push X on this.
You can be smart, fast, lucky, or just wear some armor.
That's right. To equip the poncho. And now I have armor. And now if you move down here, you can see the side effects of your armor. So right now, light armor increases a slight stamina increase to require to swing weapons because it's heavier. And then tenderfoot defense is from this armor, and it makes us receive less damage from early game creatures, which is perfect because we're in the early game. And the set bonus for having all 3 pieces of clover equipped is that we get a regeneration of health over time, which is pretty nice. It's not the best, but it's the easiest armor for us to make. So now we have full armor. Now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to see if we can make any spears. We can. I can make 2, and I will. We need more sprigs and more plant fiber to make more. Now I'm going to push select, and I'm going to select my spear, and I'm going to put it on number 1 on our hotbar. And I'm going to hold left bumper, and I'm going to select the spear right here. And now I've got my spear out. Now you can just push right trigger to like poke with it. Does okay damage. But if you push the right bumper, you'll throw it. And then it goes along the ground. And it highlights where it is, so you can easily go pick it back up. Now we want more of these, so we need sprigs.
Hey there, buddy.
Now we could kill this ant pretty easily, but we want more than just 2 spears. Looks like some flying guys coming by. Let's just let that happen. I don't really need any clover at the moment. I'm going to get down here, get this, get this. And sprigs, perfect. This is what we're looking for. Now, I do recommend always keep your eye out for where you are. You can see I'm kind of up above the field station. Try to stay really close to the field station early game, because you'll find spiders and other mean bugs by moving not that far away from this. So I like to stay pretty tight until I'm comfortable and ready to actively explore. Right now, I'm just trying to get the very basics of gear. Look at this. This is a giant dog print in the ground. That's how big a dog is. I'm walking in its paw print right now. Picking up rocks, picking up sprigs, all the stuff we need to make more spears. There's a weevil. And this is a good example. Let me show you a weevil. You see this weevil right here? If I throw my spear at it, we can wreck it. Now, it takes a second to get used to aiming these spears. So don't be ashamed or afraid if you miss. I still miss all the time. This is just a red worker ant, no problem. There's some mushrooms. Now look at this. Weevils.
Nice snooter, dude.
Oh god, I missed. There we go. And see, we kill the guy in 1 shot. So that's why throwing the spear is so good. It's 3 shots with our axe to just hit him melee, but with the spear, you could just throw it, and it's 1. Let's pick up all these. You notice how the weevil was eating the mushroom? You can use mushrooms as bait to, like, lure weevils to you, because they will come try to eat it. There's a giant baseball. So if we use the mushrooms and drop them intentionally, you can create, like, weevil traps and things like that to attract aphids and weevils to a place where you can farm them more easily, if you're interested. Now, I'm just picking up stuff to craft more spears at this point. Now they want us to find out what's weakening one of the lasers for the main quest. We saw what's weakening the one laser. It was just that, grass that was in the way, and we'll get rid of the rest. But before that, now let me go ahead and cook. I do have some weevil meat here to cook. Great. And let's use the workbench and craft spears. I'm going to make 5. So now I have 7 spears. So I feel very good about that. I am getting thirsty, so let's just look up top for some water. Here it is. Right over here, you see the drop up top. Let me hit it. And water drops down. Aw, into the puddle. That's so sad. I could cry. Okay. No problem. We'll find some other better stuff that won't disappoint us by dropping into the puddle like this right here. You can hit this with anything, spear included, whatever, just to do enough, knock it enough, and there you go. Now, Another thing that you might want to craft right now is a storage basket. So let's see about doing that right here. This is easy. It takes 4 cloverleaf and crude rope, and I'm going to select this, and I'm just going to select it, and I'm going to put it right here next to my workbench and just push X to place it, and then hold X to super build. And then I'm going to open my storage basket. Now, the thing about the storage basket is that when you're using the workbench, it draws from all nearby baskets. So you can put things in here and then craft with them later. So, for example, this anything that I can push Y to just deposit anything I don't need a stack of, or X for the whole stack, Y for one item individually. Like anything I don't feel like I need to carry around, I can just put in here. However, I do want this to analyze it. Let's go analyze all this new stuff that we have. All right. No, it's just this, actually. That's fine. So, look, we learned how to make a cool hat, some other things that we could wear. We get some science. We're rocking. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm going to open this back up, and I'm going to put this in here. And once you put stuff in here, you can, like in Stardew Valley, you can hot deposit items that you already have stacked, which is super useful. I'm going to put away some mushrooms, not all of them, but I don't need to carry around this many. Remember, your inventory space is kind of limited. You can go down here to sort your backpack and see how much space you really do have. I don't need to carry the clover with me, so I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to put these sprigs in here, even this rope. This looks fine. All right. So the laser that's weak is this one that's blinking. And this is what
little green sausage.
we need to check out. That's an aphid over there, which aphids drop good stuff, but they're really hard to catch. However, if you scare them, they usually, here's a weevil, bam, one shot with our spear. Pick up the weevil meat, pick up the spear, celebrate. Now, if you scare the aphids, they'll usually, like, try to run up onto a blade of grass or something, and then you can target them easily. You can also try to throw your spear to hit them. Now, let's follow this laser back, and it's right here. This is the one that's messed up. So you see the aphid went up there, and it's up on top of the leaf. Got it. Had to adjust my aim massively, but we did it, and we got an aphid. And now we can go scan this and learn new recipes to craft. I also wasted a bunch of spears, but you can see the game mercifully highlights your spears and shows you where they are to pick up. They actually traveled pretty far. Now, start being very, very careful. It's getting a little dark, and we are getting close to a dangerous area. This tripod for the laser device attracts or is the home of some nasties. So be ready to run. We're coming over here. The grass is dry.
Looks like that little red thing's itching for a fight.
Right, and there's mites all over here, and these guys are part of what's hurting. Now they're on us, so it's time to fight. I find that when these guys get close, they want us to craft a bandage because we did get injured. But remember, we have the tenderfoot armor because we have a full clover set, and we're regenerating health with this armor. Look in the bottom left, it says threat detected. So the game kind of warns you as well with that, visually, that you are being threatened. But right now it's just by mites. So kill them and harvest their remains. And we need to get all of these mites that are damaging the cable. The ones that are eating the cable are actively... I need to pull out my torch.
All right, Shadows.
You can hold your torch and your spear at the same time. So you just select your torch on your hotbar like I have done here. Oh boy. And let's see. Yeah, this is Mite's bread and butter. It's just this jump attack, and it's annoying, but you'll notice my health is actually pretty fine. So I'm just going to keep following this down in this terrifying little hole, and following this cable, and we're finding all sorts of lawn mites that are doing damage to the wires, but our armor is protecting us pretty readily. Now, one of the things about this game, oh boy, that now that's credit for doing everything that we needed to do. However, if you go further, you will find more stuff. There's a slime mold stock. Take these for scanning. Take all of these. You'll need these. And we need to bust this. So I'm going to select my hammer. Great. And when you break all these pieces up, carry as much of this as you can. These are great. And you'll notice we're going further, further, further. There's sprigs, there's fiber. Just take everything you can.
What the heck? Is something burrowing under there?
Yes. So we're going to need a shovel to get the stuff that's under there, and we found
additional flavor scheme available.
A scab. So we found a scab scheme called the Mite Rider. So these allow you to change your interface to a new visual flavor. We can't break this with what we have. All right, and it says go home to investigate the machine further. They don't mean this wire, by the way. I'm just having you do this because you can find that recipe, and there's lots of stocks, and these are good for like building torches at your base, permanent light fixtures. So get all this stuff and time to go home. Now I'm going to deselect my hammer and get back to my torch, or my spear rather, with my torch. The torch has durability. You can see on the hotbar in slot number 8 in the bottom center on the right that that purple bar is like how long it's going to stay lit for, so it lasts quite a long time. We'll talk about crafting bandages, and I forgot to finish this point because we kept getting attacked, but you can actually best restore health in this game by eating food. So, like, I'm hungry right now, so if I just eat this...
Just like a fruit pounder.
You'll notice that my health goes up. So, a great way to get health back instantly is to eat food. Bandages are terrific, but they usually apply a small heal and then a heal over time, and it's not often enough in the heat of combat, but you can eat to really get your health back. Now, I, for some reason, thought this tripod had spiders, which is why I was being so cautious. It's the other tripod that does, so this one's not as dangerous. So luckily, it's not as bad. But whenever you see spider webs, you need to be on high alert and try to avoid it at night, because that's when they like to come out. Now, this is... let's just go back this way. I'm going to run. You can see we are getting thirsty, so I do want to... Oh, no, they want us to go back to the actual machine that's on the ground, but let's do that. We're right by our house anyway. I'll quickly look up for any dew to see if there's anything to drink, because I am getting thirsty. There's dandelions, which are great for weed stems, and the tufts of the dandelion you can use to glide when you jump from high up, kind of like Link's, hang glider. But they don't last very long, but they're good. All right, so let's push the button, activate.
Did you hear something that sounded like a big far-off explosion?
What was that? So, We need to investigate the oak tree explosion. Something blew up, and that's now the game is telling us to go to a new area. And this thing is no longer really working. So all the lasers are kind of off right now, and we're going to need to figure out what happened. In the meantime, let's go back to our house. I'm going to run us right back home. We could look for dew. There should be plenty. Here's some right here. Now, it doesn't always drop. Sometimes it gets stuck or it glitches. I will hit this. It did drop, but there is a here we go. Sweet, we got it.
It's no lemon crime, but it's better than nothing.
It is better than nothing. Emergency case, you just drink dirty water. Now, we made it home. We don't need to eat, though. We're full, but I'll take these off. Perfect. And then I'm going to use the workbench. If we want to dig up those things that we saw burrowing, we need an acorn shovel, but we need an acorn shell to get that. Well, guess what? We're going to an oak tree. So nearby the oak tree, we should find plenty of acorn shells. Let's scan what we found, which was actually a lot. Raw weevil meat. Fantastic. And we're going to level up again with aphid meat. We learned how to make aphid slippers, which are amazing. They help you run faster. Okay. And then what else do we want to scan? Well, it's all the same thing. These glow stalks. So these slime mold guys we can use to make torches and sconces. And we did it. And now we learned how to make the next level of armor, which is ant armor that's made from ant parts. And ant armor is cool because it helps you carry stuff, so you can carry more big blades of grass or weed stems for doing construction. And if you have a full set on, then the ants mistake you for a red ant and they won't attack you. So that's also nice. Unless you attack them, then they'll figure it out. But okay, great. So let's move over here and use this. And what I want to do is craft the bandage. So it's right here. It takes 3 fiber and 2 sap. And I'm just going to craft it so that we get credit for this. A canteen is insane. We want this so badly to carry water around, but we need grub hides. Grubs burrow under the ground like the kind of crumbly ground that we saw just in that cave, but we need a shovel to get them. All right, tremendous. So we finished this, and we crafted the fiber bandage. And I'm going to go over to this, and you can just hold X to hot deposit and just put everything in here. And then if I look inside, everything has kind of stacked up in here. So I end up building a bunch of these to keep my inventory clear. We still have 7 spears. We have our full set of armor. And let's go ahead and go to construction. And I'm going to go over to lights. And if we want to build like a sap sconce or the slime mold sconce, we can. But we need rope for the slime mold sconce, and so I will make some rope. So I'm going to push select, go to crafting, and then just go to crude rope. And, oops, let me go back to that. There we go. Yeah, crude rope. I'm going to make as many, I'll make 5. That's good. And then we can make the sconce. Now, it needs to be on a surface. It requires a wall. So you have to build this in your house, which is why the other variant is nice because you can plant it in the ground, but it needs a weed stem. Well, if you need a weed stem, get your axe. And there's a weed always right by our starter house, which is that big dandelion that we saw. So right here, if you look up and you see the dandelion.
I don't want any trouble, Ant.
Yeah, don't worry, Ant. You can always recognize these by the telltale jagged leaves, and then you just chop it. But you chop it here. And just keep chopping. This thing will keep spawning every day, usually, so you'll be able to get it back. But you chop it, and it turns into weed stems down here on the ground. And we want to pick these up, but it also drops these right here. These fluffed dandelion tufts, these fluffy tufts. Get as many of these as you can for gliding purposes. And then I'm going to pick up these weed stems. These are all things we need to scan. Okay, I'm going to go here to the analyzer, and we can scan the weed stem. Sweet. And then we can also scan the bandage. Okay, so no new recipes, but we just get raw science, so that'll do. And from here, I can go to crafting, and I can make, if I want, a plant lamp or... oh, gosh, I misspoke. This thing doesn't need weed stems. It needs dry grass chunks. Wah, wah, wah. Well, that's how you get weed stems, which is for building bigger construction. So I will just drop these by holding... by pushing left trigger until I can drop each of these pieces. Now, you can build stands to hold grass planks and weed stems. So we have, like, for example, these grass planks here.
Someone get that poor dude a tissue.
But we don't need that right now. I think we're doing great. We've got armor. We've got a torch. We solved the laser. We built the workbench. And we had a good day, too. Everyone, this is a good place to end this episode of the Guide series. I hope you're still finding it to be useful and fun, and I hope you're enjoying Grounded. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.